What's up guys, Abel Streetcar Builds back at it again with another video. All right, in this video guys, we're gonna go ahead and start the fuel system upgrades for the Turbo Coyote. All right, get the fuel system ready for when we do get the motor back. All right guys, we're here in the back of the car. All right, the reason we're here is because we're gonna go ahead and remove the stock fuel tank. All right, we're gonna go ahead and remove the stock fuel tank on the car. Okay, we are gonna run a fuel cell. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of all that. We're gonna keep the same AN lines that we had already, the -8 feed, 6 return. That's cause it's a PTFE, so that's E85 rated, good for gas and E85. So we're gonna go ahead and what I'm gonna do, cause the pump is like right here, the lines right here, like the hanger and stuff like that. I think I'll probably cut a hole somewhere like right there and bring them up, fuel cell right here, connect them in. All right guys, so we're gonna start with removing the tank also, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you what we're gonna go ahead and put on. Here it is guys, 10-gallon fuel cell. All right, this is the eBay special, Amazon special. I think it was like 89 bucks. All right, and we took out the foam. I never used the foam in the fuel cells guys. The very first time I bought one, I had it in the truck. I had a C10 back in the day, and I left the foam in there and everything, and actually it was just regular 93 gas. Broke it down, the fuel turned like bluish and stuff like that. So that's the first thing I took off. All right, the second thing guys, right here, we are gonna be running dual pumps. All right, we're gonna be running dual pumps, dual Hellcat pumps, 525 liters. All right, for what we're gonna do, which is, it's gonna be on gate. I think it's like 8 pounds, 10 pounds. I think the springs that are in the kit on right now is 10 pounds. So we're gonna try to do 10 pounds on 93. So I think that one Hellcat pump will do. But if it's not, we're gonna go ahead and connect it. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna put both pumps in the car. I'm gonna put them in on the hanger in the fuel cell, plumbed up, ready to go. And I'm gonna have a block off cap right here. So whenever I do need it, like let's just say, okay, we're gonna go E85, maybe bump the boost a little bit. It's gonna be already all wired. We'll just run power here and take off the cap and connect it. All right, and that's the thing. So in order to run that hanger, okay, I bought it. Supposedly it was supposed to direct bolt on. There was gonna be a direct bolt on to the fuel cell. That wasn't it. It came with like a aluminum spacer, like about that right there. And it didn't fit. As you can see, I don't know, as you can see right here, it's like different sizes. You see how it's a lot bigger. Okay, so I had my friend Güero Cáceres here in Huesaco. He does the aluminum work. He welded it on there. He said he had a rough time because it had some paint on the underside, but he was able to seal it up real good. And that's gonna go in right there. And so the way it's gonna work is I'm gonna clock it a little bit to the passenger side. Let me see, about right there. That's the way I'm gonna clock it. That way, because the hoses come from over here, we'll run we're gonna do a Y into the feed, and then the return -6 already on here. So that's the plan, and then we're gonna wire this up. But right now we're just gonna get the fuel cell in there, get it leveled out and everything. And then what else? And then after that, we are going to work on the transmission cooler. Yeah, the transmission cooler. Yeah, so we're gonna do the transmission cooler next. Okay, we're gonna mount the transmission cooler underneath in the back also, where the fuel cell is gonna be, but underneath where the spare tire goes. Because since we are gonna have the intercooler in the front and everything, we are gonna have to move that transcooler to the back and then wire that up also, since it does have its own fan. The transcooler guys is the same transcooler we had before. All right, it has its own fan and everything. We're gonna mount this underneath the car in the back. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Gas tank is off guys, literally a 10-minute job. All right, I already drained out the fuel, got it in my fuel jug already. We're gonna go ahead and take off the fuel hanger and the fuel pump. We're gonna go ahead and put that on the marketplace. It's the Aeromotive 340. We'll post that in the marketplace, and I'm pretty sure somebody would be interested in the hanger for anybody that wants to put AN lines on their Fox body. Pump, we got the hanger already off. All right, I put both of these on the marketplace. I'm hoping somebody might have a use for these -8, but yeah, I mean, this is specifically for somebody that wants to keep a stock tank with with AN lines, you know, and a 340, this is a direct bolt-in. This is a direct bolt-in for a Fox body, you know, bolt-ons, anything. I had it with my stock 302 on nitrous. We're good. Stock 302, not stock 302, bolt-on 302, GT40 heads, all that stuff. Work flawless, you know, so this is a good all-around pump, and it can hold some power, you know. It'll go up to like 500 horsepower. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and clean up all this stuff before we start cutting that little hanger for the spare. We're gonna cut that off, try to smooth it out. But as you can see, we're right in the sun. All right, we're right in the sun, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and push it into the garage so we don't have to be in the sun. We got it in the garage, but still, we're still in the sun, but that's just gonna pass. And then by the time you know it, the sun will come this way. But the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and try to smooth this out. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see, but you see that lump? There's a lump right here. And for the spare, we're gonna cut this off and we're gonna hit it down. Smooth it out, try to get it as flat as possible so we can mount the fuel cell. And I'm thinking first we're gonna do the trans cooler from the bottom and then the fuel cell. It literally just took me 4 hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it just went boop, down. Cut it out literally 2 minutes. I'm done. It's flush, it's down. That's be perfect for the fuel cell. All right, the only thing is that since it's like rounded off on the bottom, all right, I'm gonna see if I can put the trans cooler on this side and see how it is, and we can just run 2 lines to the transmission from there. All right, guys, so it's been a couple of days. All right, I started in the car and then I had to go run some errands, and then yesterday we went to EMP and we saw some racing. Instead, had a little event over there. I didn't really record anything. I just went to enjoy myself. All right, but I'm back at it, all right? So let me go ahead and show you what I did. All right, guys, so I cut. Don't worry about the cuts. Don't look at that. Look ugly, but it's done. All right, so I got the fuel hat in there, and I just bolted it in. I'm gonna have to take it out to put the, but more or less, that's more or less what it's gonna look like. All right, so usually I'm not gonna use this one. This one's gonna have a cap, and then coming from that corner, we're gonna have the Y coming like this, and then this one will feed right here. You know what I mean? And then we'll have the return come straight here. We'll have some wiring this way, some wiring that way. You know, try to make it as clean as possible. But that's where we're at right now, guys. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and drill some holes. I'm gonna drill some holes back there. Just loosely put the bolts in there, and then once it's bolted in, right here on all 4, then we'll figure out, okay, where are we gonna put the trans cooler on the bottom. All right, guys, this is where I'm at. All right, it's loosely bolted in, but as you can see here, what I was looking at is that it's a little bit tilted forward. I don't know, you can't see the, right there, you can see it's a little bit tilted forward. So when we set the motor in, it's gonna drop the front end a little bit, you know, so it can, but what I'm thinking is that once the motor is in, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the level again, and I want it to have a slight tilt back, you know, because the fuel pumps are gonna be here, and then the fuel pump, what is that? The filter, the strainer, those stuff, they're gonna be facing back. So as long as we can have like a small tilt back, that way, even like, you know, always the fuel will always come back over here, and since the fuel pumps were here and the pickups will be right here, you know, I'll always have the fuel, even if we get close to being on empty, which I'll never drive it that close. But it's always good to think about that, think about the future, think about, you know, you never know. You know, what if we take a drive, gauge starts marking wrong or something? So it's always good to have like a little tilt, just a slight tilt to where the pickups are over here for the fuel pumps. Okay, the fuel pumps, the Hellcat pumps came with some short ones, some short little filters, but they do sell some long ones, some long rectangle ones. So I'm gonna get the rectangle ones that will come this way, you know what I mean? So we can always have fuel towards the back. And let's go ahead and jump to the let's go ahead and jump to the transmission cooler. Right, so I'm gonna try to figure out where it is the best way to bolt it from the bottom, and then I'll just lift this, make the holes, bolt it in, and then put the fuel cell back in. All right, guys, so we're under the car. It's bad. I'm gonna get all this painted up, cleaned up, everything, but let's see here. I was thinking about where we're gonna put this. All right, the easiest way would be to put it, let me see, right here, you know, closer to the driver's side. There's a lot of room, You know, we can put 290s to go that way towards the transmission, you know, something like that. But, you know, we want it to look nice. We could even do it right here. You know, that's a lot more room, and I'll keep it right in the middle. And I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do. You know, it'll be right in the middle of the chassis, as you can see the rear end. You know, the rear end's a little bit offset, but I'm thinking we're gonna put it right here. You know, put some spacers in there to bring it down, just to give us a gap to pull the air, since it's, you know, it pulls the air from the trans cooler, maybe a little bit lower right here. Or I can put it closer right there. You know, that's another thing right there. That one would be pretty nice right there. You know, put some 90s and then curve it that way. Goes maybe, so we put some 90s right here to go that way, and then, so we got to figure it out. You know, it's gonna take me a little bit of while to get the perfect height, or not the perfect height, but the perfect location, because this thing is not in the center of the car. You know, it's more to the driver's side. So putting it on this side, we put it like right in the middle. So I'm thinking that we're gonna figure out where we're gonna put it right here and go from there, guys. After going a lot of back and forth, guys, we're gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it right there. We're gonna put some spacers to bring it down, you know, so we can get that airflow. So that's when it's gonna go, guys. Let me go ahead and make a hole, take off the fuel cell, and we can go ahead and bolt this thing up. All right, guys, we got the trans cooler. I got the holes. I brought the trans cooler up here so I can make the holes. I had gotten some flat washers, some flat bolts, flathead bolts, because the fuel cell was there here. I didn't want anything to be rubbing on the fuel cell and everything, but I ended up lifting the fuel cell about 1/2 inch. So these are gonna be well clear of the fuel cell. So let's go ahead and what I'm thinking is I'm gonna put some washers on the bottom also, just to give it a little bit of gap. I got a box of washers there from the Johnny's True Value. I think it was like $2. I'll probably put, because these bolts are kind of long. You know, I got them long because I knew I was gonna put a gap in them, just to, what do you call it? Just to give it some gap, so I can we can get that airflow as it's pulling the air down. We don't want it too close to the floor to where it's gonna struggle to pull air. Exactly how I wanted it, guys. Boom. You can't even, you know what I mean? Maximum clearance for the fuel cell. So none of this will hurt the fuel cell. The fuel cell is perfect. Exactly what I want. It's gonna be a little bit harder. You know, I gotta hold this one on top, tighten it. I could weld this. I could weld this around here, but then again, these bolts will be there forever. You never know that I might change up, you know, change up the setup or anything like that. And I don't build cars and then like resell them. Like, I build them for me. So like the way everything that I do, some people say, oh, well, you dropped the value because you gutted it and this and that. You know, I'm building it for me. It is what it is. Even if I go try to sell it, yeah, gut it from the, you know, completely gut it from the inside and everything. Yes, that will drop the value, and you know, somebody might not want it, but who cares? It's my car. I'm building it the way I want it. There it is, guys, bolted up. As you can see, I put washers. Okay, I put a few more washers on the front side just to give it a, once we have the motor in, it'll have a small tilt so it can pull the air. Instead of it pulling it down, it's gonna pull it, you know, this way. Maybe we can put some more washers. The bolts are kind of long, as you can see. I made sure we go ahead and get your view. All right, so I could add a lot more washers right there, just to give it a tilt. Just to give it a tilt. Once the motor's in, this is when I'll figure out everything for the fuel cell, figure out the tilt for the fuel cell, figure out the tilt for the trans cooler. But you know, it's solid. It ain't going anywhere. We got some lock bolts right there, so that thing is tight, and the gap is perfect. Look at that. Boom, get all the airflow, pulling it down, pulling it out, cooling the transmission. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and bolt the fuel cell back on. Fuel cell is bolted in. It ain't going anywhere. It's good. All right, and then the trans cooler. You can kind of see it right there. It's gonna be the trans cooler. It's pretty sick like that. And I think that's gonna be it for today. What's up, guys? So it's been, I think it's been about 2 weeks. You know, I was sick. I got sick and then work. But it's been about a couple of weeks since I last updated from the trans cooler. But let's go ahead and see. All right, guys, we'll start with the obvious. We put smoke headlights on the car. We got rid of the stock headlights. Okay, we put smoke clear lens. All right, and we put some HIDs on it. At the end of the video, I'll go ahead and show you how the LEDs look. Really bright, nice. Once the motor's is sat in the car that it tilts down, that's when I'll adjust them so they won't be pointing up and blinding people. But you know, I think I paid like 20 bucks for the HIDs, 25 bucks. So I don't expect it to be super bright, but it's way brighter than stock, especially since they are smoked. I do need that extra brightness. And second thing is, we got this cut in the bumper, guys. This thing, it's nice, I like it. Since we're gonna have the intercooler, you know, it's a 5-inch, it's like overkill for what I want. But you know, we just wanted to get all the air that we can, and it looks killer, guys. It looks way better. And another thing is that I have the car out because we put the tint on it. I had the tint guy come today, and it looks nice. All right, guys, so we went 5% all the way around, you know, just for that meaner look. It's just something mean about having 5% tint on a coupe or on a Fox body. It looks really nice. And another thing, we put the smoke tail lights also, just to blend the whole look of the car. On these, we also did put LEDs. We put red LEDs, super bright on the ends, because you know, we need them. We don't want to get stopped for having these smoke tail lights if you don't have red. So we put the bright LEDs. We put LEDs in the third brake light to go through that 5% tint. That red, we put super bright LEDs on the back too. Let's see here, we put LEDs. You can buy these on Blue Oval Industries on eBay. That's the parts store. You know, LEDs right here, just to modernize the look of the car. You know, that's super bright, and it looks really good at night. So I'm gonna go ahead and post a clip there after, you know, after I close out the video, so you can see the LEDs. But let's go ahead and jump to the trunk, guys, and I'll show you what we did. All right, so fuel system is already plumbed. Like I said, we're only gonna be running one pump, one return. It's already wired up here. It's nice. Yeah, I don't have it on yet because when you buy these pumps, I guess they have like a little oil in them to keep them, I guess, fresh until you put them in there with the fuel. And since we're not gonna put any fuel in it anytime soon, sorry, hold up. You know, it's wired up right here, just with the connect. I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it. All right, but just to connect with the fuel pump, boom, and I'll be ready to go. Another thing that I noticed, guys, okay, is it doesn't mark the fuel right. Okay, so this is a 0 to 90 ohm fuel lever sender, and what's stock on a Fox body is like 16 to like 130 or something like that. So that's when I realized that it wasn't marking right. Okay, and another thing is that the fuel level gauge thing, it comes this way, and I was like, I'm gonna have trouble because it's gonna hit the hanger. The hanger's like back here, what holds the pump. I don't know if you can see it. You see it right there. Right there, you see it right there. So what I was seeing is that it only goes about halfway, and then it stops there. So what I'm gonna do, the plan is, for now, we're just gonna leave it like that. We're just gonna get a 0 to 90 ohm gauge to read over there in the front, and what we'll do is we'll fill it up. It's only gonna mark half, but once we start seeing it go back down past half, then that means then it'll start marking right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna buy another one of these. These are cheap. These are 100 bucks, and we're gonna cut this out right here, and we're gonna put a fuel lever sender that goes up and down, just up and down instead of stock style front to back, and that'll give us a better accurate reading. And we'll probably just cut this out and have it welded to the new fuel cell, and then just bolt it up. So for now, we're just gonna leave it like that. Right now, we just want to get the car running. All right, guys, so that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. Okay, you know, I'm sorry, we've been updating the car little by little, what we can do, you know, the only thing we can do while we wait for the motor. Okay, so it could be like maybe within the next week or two will be the next video, and then after that, I'll be posting videos every 3 or 4 days, every step of the way on that Coyote turbo kit install. Okay, because I've Googled it, I've YouTubed it. You know, I'm pretty sure you guys know that there's videos where like, okay, how does the return oiling go? And you're looking for videos, you have to watch a whole 10-minute video. I'm gonna be posting 2-minute videos, 3-minute videos on just little things. And then I'll be posting my regular full-length videos regarding that install. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Stick with me. The channel's gonna get a whole lot better. We're gonna be driving the car a whole lot more. All right, guys. Abel, Street Car Builds, I'm out. Press the brake. Let it go. Press the brake. Let it go.